Welcome back to the program. I am now joined by Wes Brown, who reports daily for TalkBusiness.net. Good to have you with us, my friend.
Good to be here, man.
Let's talk about some medical marijuana. You have been up at the near the state capitol at those medical marijuana commission meetings until late in the evening.
Yeah,
it seems.
they had one late, kind of rowdy meeting this week.
Let's talk about this, because this was to go through the procedure for how they're going to do the dispensary applications, which is the where you will actually go and purchase your medical marijuana.
Right, the retail locations.
Prescriptions. How quickly are they going to get this evaluation done? And what's going to kind of be the process to be followed?
The State Medical Marijuana Commission outsourced this process through a contract to a public consulting group out of Boston. They turned that process over to them earlier this week. The manager that came down from Boston to talk to the commission, he said that it would probably take them 30 days to review and score those applications, which are 198 of them, and then they will return them to the commission, and they'll make the final decision on 32 dispensary locations in 8 quadrants of the state.
All right, so obviously this is probably going to lead to another round of litigation as a result of all this. Can we expect that?
Yeah, well, the litigation is more on the cultivation end. There were 5 cultivation centers that were selected earlier this year in February, and that process is just bogged down because of the legal challenges. And now there are 13 applications were thrown out, and some of these applicants are saying that they were thrown out for very just fundamental reasons.
Kind of small technical errors.
Yeah.
And things like. But could there be some litigation tied around the dispensary application process?
Obviously, when you select 32 out of 198, there are people who say that the process is flawed. The Boston group had said they went through a process where they weeded out any possible conflicts of interest.
I see what you just did right there. You weeded them out.
Yeah, and said they were going to do a process where it would take out any, where there might be any legal challenge. But it's still, the way this is going, there's probably going to be some people who say when they didn't win, they're going to challenge this process.
So what's that going to do to the actual public process of this? When will medical marijuana be available for purchase at these retail locations? What's the potential time scenario?
I think there's two scenarios. One, that this process will come back, and then if there are legal challenges, then it's going to take a little longer. But if it takes the 30 days that the Boston firm said they would do to score and review these, then we're looking at late November when we know the names of those 32 dispensaries, and then to get those up to speed, it will be probably in early spring of 2019 before we actually see cannabis products on the shelf in the state of Arkansas. The second issue is there's only about 7,000 right now. There are people who have are registered to get medical marijuana IDs. The question is, can those 7,000 people support a vibrant industry, or will that number have to dramatically increase for the industry to be vibrant in the state of Arkansas?
Yeah.
I think that's a valid question that needs to be asked.
Okay. Lastly, you have been working on some early voting stories. We're about to head into early voting period right here, these last 2 weeks of the campaign. Give us a little preview of what you're reporting on.
Okay, on October 22nd, of course, we begin early voting. The question, with this being the midterms and the Mueller investigation is still out there, is our election process secure? There's been meetings with the FBI and Homeland Security with state election officials, including Secretary of State Mark Martin of Arkansas, where there have been meetings that the Russians and other foreign players are actively trying to undermine. I think there's allegations that they will try to actively undermine the midterm election process. So we'll have a story on that. Also, we'll look at a story where this will be the first time in several decades where our voters will have to show an ID at the poll, even though there's a voter ID amendment on the ballot.
Yeah, all right, it's interesting stuff. You can catch that at talkbusiness.net over the weekend and first part of the week. He's Wes Brown. You can catch his reporting daily at talkbusiness.net. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you.
All right, man.
All right. And our last break, and we will bring you those Congressional District number 2 poll numbers. I've been dragging you out the whole show on these. I promise you. We'll bring them right after this break.